so glad you could join me today. Today we'll be doing a nice, I thought a painting similar but different. I don't want to say a completely different type of painting because I don't know how it's going to turn out, honestly. I don't have an idea. Um, I could have came up with a sketch. I had no idea what to draw though. So let me run the colors across the screen, and you'll need to paint along with me. While you're doing that, let me tell you what I got done up here. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double prime, and I added oh wait, no, I didn't add anything. Sorry, it's a habit. But double prime, 2 layers of gesso. It comes already like that from the store. And I thought today we could do a nice little landscape, maybe with some mountains and some land and all that. I have my medium to the side, some linseed oil. And yeah, let's get started with today's painting. Let's not waste much time into it. You might see these green lines on my canvas because I have some Christmas lights outdoors. So I kind of have to deal with that. So some titanium white, phthalo blue. Just mix it up on my palette knife. Let's go into a 2-inch brush. Now these are natural bristle brushes. Each brush has a different reaction with different material, and different material reacts differently with everything. So it's important, I put some medium to the paint. It's important that you use a natural bristle brush when you're painting this. Now, I know they don't sell natural bristle brushes anymore. What? Oh, it's the sound of my table leg. Let me just adjust this. Oh, sorry about that. But as I was saying, I know they don't sell natural bristle brushes as much anymore. But if you go on eBay and all that, and if you like the Bob Ross brand, you can search up old brushes, and the old ones are the good ones. As I say, old, good, new, bad. You can still work with the new ones, but the new ones won't give you the same effect as per say the old ones. So I'm gonna it's just my brush, some medium, and the paint. Gotta load up good though. Have your brush nicely loaded. You just gotta tap the paint onto your bristles, and you're just filling for the sky. You're really just filling in color, not worrying about much, just filling in some of that color that you're gonna need for a background. Okay, or no medium for now. A little bit of phthalo blue. Let's get this corner a bit darker, and maybe that corner a bit darker too. Just right here. Just tap it. Load up your brush and let your brush do basically all the work for you. God, I take a while with this. Okay, just like so. You have your sky color. Now, let's go ahead. Maybe there's some clouds that live in the painting somewhere around there. So I'm gonna go into a fan brush and I'm gonna take it straight through titanium white paint. Just load it nicely. Let's switch. Hopefully it's better the other angle, but just come up here and do these little circular motions. It's just doing those circular motions, and with that you can get yourself a nice glowing sky. Circular and kind of push up your brush, like if you're trying to do little grass, but just try to use the corner of the brush. Don't try to go out with the whole brush. Okay, something like so. Let me beat the blue out of my brush. Come up here, top corner of your brush, and just blend out the base. Blend out the base. Lightly, lightly. Lift upward. And just go across. That's simple. You have yourself a nice little cloud. Now, I want some of that top edges to be a bit more sharp. So I just go over with some white. And just kind of push it in. And same thing. Doesn't matter as many times as you go. As long as you repeat the same steps, you'll be just fine. Look at that. Like that, you have yourself a nice little cloud. Now, let's go ahead. Let's put in a mountain. Let's do a nice, good old mountain. Let me clear up some workspace. I'm gonna go into some ivory black, cut a roll. You'll get that nice little roll of paint on the edge of your knife. Now let's come up here. I think the highest point of the mountain is somewhere around there, and so on. We can care less what's in the inside of your mountain. All we really care is the outside edge. Maybe this one gets high too. Maybe it goes low and then high. But remember, this requires very little paint. Maybe like so. You can also do this with gesso. We've done that in previous paintings where we use gesso in order to have a nice highlight. You can probably hear how harsh I'm scraping the canvas. Now, clean dry 2-inch brush. Make sure it's dry. Grab it and move that paint. Since the paint before it had medium, kind of acts like if there's medium on here when there's not. Just like so. Just gentle. No, I named the video season. I put a season and I put the title and all that. Someone come up with the name to make it a show. Since I'm putting season 1, season 2, so on, I need a name to make sense. It could be Raul Ixta's Landscapes, Painting with Raul Ixta. I don't know. You guys get creative. You guys let me know. Okay, well, we got that done. Now, I'm going to go into some titanium white paint, and I'm going to add the slightest touch of some dark sienna. Ooh, that was way too much, but just add more white. Now, let's come up here. I think my light source hits right around there. No pressure. No pressure whatsoever. Maybe over here we gotta have some reflections. Okay, just like so. Gentle, gentle. No pressure. If you put pressure on your palette knife, it's gonna smear and you're not gonna get those little paint breaks. Something like so. Now, while we have that going, I'm gonna go into some dark sienna, cut a roll, and just glaze some of that, just pure dark sienna. Just glaze it. It'll give it a whole different look. Something like so. Something around those lines. Some ivory black and dark sienna. And I'm gonna cut a roll of paint. It's a dark brown. And we can come up here, push it. Ooh, that's a bit too dark. At least for the camera. We'll put some highlights on in a bit so the camera could distinguish it. Maybe these mountains are just having a good time. Just like so. No pressure whatsoever. And you can cover a hill or a highlight, I should say, just by going over with your shadow color. Sorry, I'm just mixing a bit more paint. Try to create those angles. Angles and paintings usually tend to help it out a bit. Let's come up here. Gentle, gentle. I'm going to put just a bit more shadow color here. Let's make this a bit more bumpy. There we go. Something like so. I think we could leave it at that. Tap the base, following the angles of your highlights or shadows. Either or, you gotta tap it. Lift up to create the image of some mist. Something like so. Just like that, you have yourself something, some big old mountain that lives there. I'm gonna go into a little bit of phthalo blue. Let's add some water. I think there is some water in this painting, somewhere around the lines. So I'm gonna go into a little bit of phthalo blue and a little bit of medium, and just block in a basic blue. Just a basic amount of blue. Just like so. I see so many artists and I feel inspired by the ones on TikTok, YouTube, anything I could really get my hands on, because sometimes they bring ideas where I feel as are great and I should have thought about it sooner. Some mountain mixture. Let's come up here and let's decide maybe some land lives here. Some land. You know what? We're gonna have to get this to a higher level. So I'm just lifting up the base color so it won't be too low. Let's come up here and let's decide where everything should live. Just tap. Just tap and let it go. Just a bit more, maybe it comes out this way. Now, reflections is really what determines where the land starts and where water starts. Now, I'm gonna go into a little cadmium yellow, same dirty brush. Make sure you load both sides of your brush, and let's come up here and just tap it. Tap in some grass highlights, something that just goes off. 18 minutes for this? God damn. Am I becoming slower? Am I aging quicker? Since there's the black and it had a little bit of blue, the yellow will instantly turn into a greenish color. Grab it, pull it. Something like so. Let's come up here to add in some more grass. And just pull some reflections. Now, with the brush I did the water with, I'm gonna just lightly pull, lightly. and go across gentle. Let me add some dirt with that dark brown color. So just by adding in some of that nice brown color, you can use it as some dirt. Okay, now let me go ahead. I'm gonna go into some mountain mix. Oh wait, no. What a habit I have. Ivory black. I have to fill in this area. I should stop getting out of the habit of saying mountain mixture. The reason why I'm not using mountain mixture is because I ran out of it, and I don't really want to support too much the Bob Ross company for some reasons. So I'm using stuff where are alternatives, we could say. So just scrub on. Doesn't matter how you get this base color on, as long as you get it on. A little bit more linseed oil. I buy my linseed oil from Michael's just to kind of thin out my paint. I don't like to use paint thinner in general because it's a bit harmful, and I don't want to. I have eczema, and with paint thinner, it just makes it worse for me. So I try to avoid paint thinner and all that stuff. And even if you don't have stuff like I do, I still would recommend not to use paint thinner. Paint thinner is very toxic in general. Unless you have to, like if you need to accomplish a look, then, but if there's no alternative, shoot. I only use paint thinner when there's no alternative. Usually I try to find an alternative way to either thin out or whatever I have to do. Okay, too much talking for me. Cadmium yellow, load it up on my brush, and let's just tap. Just tap it, and that layer will be grass. Just so simple. Load it up. Usually when I put trees without leaves, some people tend to think they're dead. I don't see it that way. I see it as maybe they're shedding a bit. And so now I'm gonna start putting a couple of leaves in my trees. And I say that because I'm about to add some trees. So just going into a number 3 fan brush, I'm gonna go into some mountain mixture. Nice. Oh wait. Oh my god. Some ivory black. And decide where your trees live. I should count how many times I say mountain mixture. Just like so. Just a few limbs that maybe live out here and there. These limbs aren't out yet, but they're getting ready. Maybe this is for this time of year in this place. It has to kind of come to a wrap and close down for the next season. dark sienna and white. Just like so. Let's come up here and just add in basic little tree trunk highlight. Something like so. Now I'm going to go into a little bit of cadmium yellow, same dirty brush, and just sparkle it up. Just like so. Gentle, gentle. A bird could still land here, and as long as it's a bit sturdy, a bird could get here, relax a bit. Maybe it's not for home. Maybe it's just a vacation tree. You gotta make up these stories, guys. Now, let's come up here. I'm going to a little bit of cad yellow with the 1-inch. Oh shoot, oops. My yellow ochre dried up. At least the top layer. Some yellow ochre. Tap it. And let's come up here. You see how it doesn't really show up well? You gotta have some base color. With base color on, you'll be able to distinguish it. So let me add some grass around it. Okay. Just like so. Just gotta tap it. Just by tapping, you bring out all these grassy looks. People think to paint grass it takes you years, days. Not with this technique. Like this, you can do it in a couple minutes. Mine looks a bit sloppy, but you get the gist of it. I just pull out some parts by loading my brush extra, and it'll create a layer of paint when I tap it on. Just puts in a whole new perspective. It's just, oh no, that one doesn't show. Maybe some grass lives here and there. There's some dried up paint that I'm trying to get. There we go. Now, let's go into some mountain mixture. And let's put in a big ol', people want to call this tree dead, then it must be it then. But to me, it's just preparing itself. Okay, and maybe, shoot, let's put it, oh, I did a mark by accident, but I think it'll work. Let's put in some evergreens. Sound good? Sorry about going a bit over time. The reason why I'm putting evergreens is to fill in that little gap. When you're painting, you paint what you want, not what I paint, because not everyone sees their paintings the same way. Now, you could see how sloppy that top is, and we'll come back and fix it, just to show you you can fix it, and there's no such thing as messing up. Okay, so look at this. Just by getting a little roll of that same paint color, if I just pull it on top, reload my palette knife, and just make the tree a bit more wider, it can make your tree look a bit better. Just like that. Something so simple yet delicate. Let's come up here. Just like that. Just the corner of the brush. And you can use more of the brush the lower you get. Let's come up here. Let's give this tree some highlights. Let me thin it out just a bit so it could stick on better. The first tree you highlight will be the tree that's the farthest away. And just let it blend out really. Because look, if you cover this tree, it makes it look like this tree is a bit more closer. And let it blend out again. And for our last tree, same thing. Just tap it and let your brush go. Okay? Phew, we passed our time limit by a bit. Some dark sienna and white. It's more to the sienna side right now. I'm just tapping that paint on. For some, I'm tapping and sliding just to really make that stroke a bit thicker. But for the most part, I'm just tap and move away. Now, dark sienna and ivory black. Cut a roll. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty much it. Let me just add a tree trunk. And these guys, these evergreen trees. Okay. Some water lines. Shoot. Some dark skin and white. For some of the dirt. I wanted to forget about it, but it just wouldn't let me forget. Well, I thank you so much for joining me in today's painting. Today's painting was a bit more different. Uh, Not as same, but not as that much difference. Well, I hope you enjoy this painting. I certainly enjoyed making it for you guys. And I'd like to wish you guys the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next painting. Until then, goodbye, my friend.